What if planets replaced our moon? What would happen if you looked up tonight and instead of the moon, you saw Jupiter? Not in a telescope, not as a tiny dot, the actual planet, all 89,000 miles away, sitting right where the moon is, just 239,000 miles away. What about Saturn, with its rings stretching across the entire sky? Or Venus, close enough that you could practically feel its 900-degree atmosphere? Alright, here's how this is going to work. We're taking all 7 other planets, and one by one, we're parking each of them exactly where the moon sits, about 239,000 miles from Earth. That's roughly the distance from New York to LA and back, 49 times. We'll start small, with rocky planets like Mercury and Mars, then we'll go big, real big, Jupiter big, and I'm gonna show you what each planet would look like in our sky, what it would do to Earth's tides, gravity, and atmosphere, and which scenario ends in total annihilation. Let's start with the smallest, Mercury. It's only about 3,000 miles across, which makes it just 40% bigger than our moon. So if you dropped it into the moon's orbit, you'd look up and see, honestly, something not that different. A slightly larger, cratered ball hanging in the sky. But here's where it gets interesting. Mercury has about 4.5 times the mass of the moon. That means the tides on Earth would get noticeably stronger. We're talking coastal flooding in places like Miami and Lower Manhattan just from the gravitational tug alone. Mercury also has almost no atmosphere, so there's no spectacular light show here. Just a bigger, heavier, moon-like rock pulling on our oceans. Not the end of the world, but not nothing either. Alright, now let's crank the heat up. Literally. Venus, Earth's so-called twin, almost the same size as Earth, about 7,500 miles across. Put Venus at the moon's distance and this thing would dominate the sky. We're talking about a disk in the sky roughly 3.5 times wider than what you see when you look at the moon right now. It would be impossible to ignore, but the visual is the least of your worries. Venus has roughly 81% of the Earth's mass. At 239,000 miles away, the gravitational interaction would be intense. Tides wouldn't just flood coastlines. We'd be looking at tidal bulges pulling tens of feet higher than anything we've ever recorded. Entire cities along the Gulf Coast, the eastern seaboard, they'd be in serious trouble. And here's something most people miss. Venus has a super thick atmosphere, 90 times the pressure of Earth's. At this distance, the two atmospheres wouldn't physically touch, but the reflected light of that dense cloud layer would light up our night almost like a second tiny sun. You could read a book outside at midnight. Oh, and the 10 planets would start tidally locking, slowing each other's rotation. Your days would gradually get longer. Think about that next time you complain about Monday mornings being too long. But Venus is still manageable compared to what comes next. Mars. This is the one that surprises people. The red planet is only about 4,200 miles across and has just 11% of Earth's mass. That makes it way less massive than Venus and double the mass of Mercury. If Mars sat where the moon is, it would look stunning. Roughly twice the apparent diameter of the moon. You'd be able to see Olympus Mons with the naked eye, a volcano so massive it's about 2.5 times the height of Mount Everest. Gravitationally, Mars would increase tides, but it's not the catastrophe Venus would be. The bigger issue with Mars at this distance is dust. Mars is basically a giant dust ball, massive dust storms that can engulf the entire planet. Some planetary scientists think at this proximity over long timescales, Mars dust could actually start migrating into Earth's upper atmosphere. That's not settled science, by the way. There's a real debate about whether particles could make the jump across 239,000 miles, but possibility alone is fascinating. If you've been guessing which planet would actually wreck us, go ahead and drop your answer in the comments right now, because we're about to leave the rocky worlds behind and enter a whole different weight class: Jupiter. This is the one you've been waiting for, and it's everything you think it is and worse. Jupiter is about 89,800 miles across. For perspective, you could line up more than 11 Earths side by side and they still wouldn't stretch across Jupiter. Put this thing at the moon's distance and it wouldn't just appear in the sky, it would be the sky. It would look about 40 times wider than the moon. The great red spot alone, a storm bigger than the Earth, would hover above you like a terrifying eye. And forget what it looks like, let's talk about what it does. Jupiter has 318 times the mass of Earth. The red giant would literally raise tides tens of thousands of times stronger than lunar tides, which is catastrophic for oceans and crustal stress. Massive earthquakes everywhere all at once. Volcanic eruptions that make anything in recorded history look like a campfire. And there's more. Jupiter has the largest magnetosphere in the entire solar system. It extends roughly 12 to 30 million kilometers across, 15 times wider than the Sun, stretching to Saturn's orbit. At the moon's distance, Earth would be sitting right inside Jupiter's radiation belts. Every electronic device would fry, GPS, power grids, your phone, all gone. This whole scenario wouldn't be pretty. The tidal forces would trigger non-stop earthquakes, super volcanic eruptions, and ocean surges that would make anything in human history look trivial. Life as we know it, over. But here's the twist. Earth itself would actually survive. It would settle into orbit around Jupiter, battered but intact. I know what you're thinking, it can't get worse than that. But Saturn has its own tricks. Let me paint this picture for you. Saturn is about 75,000 miles across. Slightly smaller than Jupiter, but here's the thing everyone forgets. Saturn's rings. The main ring system stretches about 175,000 miles from the planet. We'd have a front row seat of the most jaw-dropping thing any human has ever seen. Saturn and its rings would take up a massive chunk of the sky. The ring system would look like a luminous highway arching from one side of the horizon to the other. At night, the light reflecting off billions of ice particles would turn darkness into a permanent twilight. It would be the most beautiful and terrifying thing in human history. Now, gravitationally, Saturn packs 95 times Earth's mass. That's less than Jupiter. So the effects wouldn't be as extreme, but less extreme than Jupiter still means catastrophic. We're talking massive tidal surges, powerful earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions on a scale far beyond anything in recorded history. Civilization doesn't survive this. Earth would be orbiting inside Saturn's enormous magnetosphere, close enough that over tens of millions of years, tidal interactions could slowly change our orbit. And if that orbit ever decayed enough to bring us within Saturn's Roche limit, roughly 46,000 miles from Saturn's center, Earth would be ripped apart by tidal forces. Piece by piece, our planet would be shredded into chunks of rock and ice, spreading out into a thin band across and around Saturn. But we've still got 2 more planets to go, and honestly, the ice giants are weirder than you'd expect. Alright, Uranus. And before anyone says anything in the comments, yes, we know, moving on. Uranus is about 31,500 miles across, roughly 4 times the width of Earth. At the moon's distance, it would appear enormous. Uranus would cover over 200 times more sky than a full moon. But what makes Uranus truly bizarre is its tilt. The planet rotates almost completely on its side, tilted 98 degrees. So imagine looking up and seeing this massive blue-green sphere rolling across the sky like a bowling ball instead of spinning like a top. That alone would be one of the most disorientating things humanity has ever witnessed. Gravitationally, Uranus has about 14.5 times Earth's mass. That's enough to produce tidal forces over 1,000 times stronger than what our moon currently generates. We're talking about tidal surges potentially hundreds of feet high. globally disruptive. Pair that with constant seismic activity and volcanic eruptions, and you're looking at a world that eventually becomes unrecognizable. Here's the real kicker though. Uranus has 27 known moons. At this distance, those moons would also be close to Earth. Some of them would interfere with Earth's orbit, or even collide with us. It's not just one gravitational problem, it's a whole system of problems. Lastly, but absolutely not least, Neptune. About 30,600 miles across, slightly smaller than Uranus, but denser and more massive. Neptune packs 17 times Earth's mass. But the headline with Neptune isn't size or mass, it's the wind. Neptune has the fastest winds in the entire solar system, clocking over 1,300 miles per hour. For comparison, the strongest tornado ever recorded in the US hit about 300 miles per hour. Neptune's winds are 4 times that. If Neptune were close enough for any kind of atmospheric interaction, it would be like strapping Earth to the front of a cosmic fire hose. At the moon's distance, those winds wouldn't directly hit us, but Neptune's gravity would do more than enough damage. Similar to Uranus, we'd see catastrophic tidal effects, seismic destruction, and orbital destabilization. And Neptune's largest moon, Triton, orbits in the wrong direction, what scientists call a retrograde orbit. Some researchers believe Triton is actually a captured Kuiper Belt object. Triton orbits about 220,000 miles from Neptune, which means at this distance, it would swing within roughly 19,000 miles of Earth. That's closer than our GPS satellites, and while Triton's orbit around Neptune is stable today, the gravitational tug-of-war between Earth and Neptune could slowly destabilize it over time in ways that are genuinely hard to predict. So, what did we learn today? Mercury and Mars, relatively survivable. You'd have bigger tides, weirder skies, and in Mars' case, the most incredible naked eye astronomy imaginable. Venus gets dangerous fast, with tidal chaos and what would make night permanently bright. But the gas and ice giants, absolute devastation. Jupiter would trigger non-stop earthquakes, supervolcanoes, and tidal surges that would wipe out all life on the surface. Saturn would do the same while giving us the most terrifyingly beautiful sky imaginable. Uranus and Neptune bring their own brand of chaos, plus moons swinging close enough to make things deeply unpredictable. The real takeaway, cosmonauts, is this. The moon isn't just a pretty thing to look at during a night drive. It's the perfect companion. The right mass, the right distance, the right size. It stabilizes our axis. It drives our tides gently enough that life can thrive along coastlines. And it doesn't, rip us apart. When you look at what every other planet would do at that same distance, you start to realize just how remarkably favorable our situation is. And that's not poetry, that's physics. So here's my question for you. If you could safely observe one planet at the moon's distance just for 24 hours with no consequences, which one would you pick? Drop it in the comments below, I'm genuinely curious. And if you want to know what would happen if the moon itself suddenly vanished, you're going to want to watch this video right here. It's wilder than you think. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.